And one of the ways to ensure you study pretty well is to have a study plan. So the question we ask ourselves is, how do we prepare a study plan? So let's look at preparation of a study plan. Now, please, it's not like you are preparing a study plan, then you throw it away, and then, you don't follow it. You have to follow the study plan, right? It's very important. So, how do you prepare a study plan? In the first place, what is a study plan? I think I mentioned this in the session 1 of our discussion. The difference between a study plan, okay, and a timetable is that the timetable just tells you, okay, Monday, I have financial reporting. Tuesday, I have corporate reporting. Wednesday, I have this. That is your timetable. But the study plan gives you details or breakdown of how everything is supposed to be done. So in order for us to prepare the study plan, the first thing, there are a couple of key tips that we need to put in place first. Number one, we need to identify what time can we study. Okay? So what are the time available? And as I say always, you want to study at your peak time. So what's your peak time? And this is going to vary from everyone based on your schedules, your work, and all those things. But what are the time available? What's the time available? So throughout the week, what are the days and time available that you can sit down and study realistically? Please don't make this bulky. Don't make it too ambitious. Don't make it too hujious. Be simple, be realistic. You are human. You have life. Some of you are married. You have children. You are working. So be realistic enough. But what is the time available for you? Okay, so you have to know it. So if it is Monday, okay, maybe you have Mondays, whatever. Maybe you have 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, that's your peak time. Or maybe you have Tuesdays and you have 4 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. It depends, but you have to identify your time. Number 2, how long can you study? Or how long must you study? This is very important to me because I tell my students this. It is not about how long you study, it's the quality of the studies. Stay with me carefully here, because there are some people who think that, sitting behind a book for 5 hours, for 3 hours, for 2 hours means they are studying. No. Even if it is 30 minutes, you want to have quality time. So how long must you study? It's about quality time. So is it 30 minutes? Is it 45 minutes? Because remember, this time, there will be no distraction around you. Okay? So number 1, what is the time available? Your peak time. Number 2, how long must you study? Now remember, when studying, you have to apply what we call the Pomodoro technique. Okay? The Pomodoro technique. Now the Pomodoro technique is where you are breaking your study time into 25 or 30 minutes. What does that mean? It means you study, and after 25 minutes or 30 minutes, you get up. And then you go freshen up, walk around a little bit, meaning you take a break. Then you come back. Another 25, 30 minutes, you get up. Another 25, 30 minutes. That's what we mean by the Pomodoro technique. So if you have 2 hours to study, right? 2 hours to study. It means you study at 30 minutes, you take a break of 5 minutes or so. Then you come back, do another 30 minutes, you take a break of 5 minutes. Then you come back and do your last 30 minutes, you take a break of 5 minutes. Now remember, that break you are taking is not for you to go on social media and start doing things on social media and get distracted. No. That break is just for you to walk around, take a fresh air as much as possible, to be able to allow your lungs to breathe properly at the end of the day, get water to drink or something like that, just to relieve yourself. And the reason why the Pomodoro technique is important and it works a lot is because you are then tricking your brain to become fresh after each break. That's the trick. Because when human beings can focus so long, all right, so after the 30 minutes, your brain becomes a little bit dull and things begins to fly out. So that 5-minute break allow you to deal with some of those issues. Then you come back again fresh or refresh, boom, another 30 minutes. So how long must you study the Pomodoro technique? The quality of the time, you must adopt the Pomodoro technique and apply it there. That is very important in that particular case. So time available, how long must you study applying the Pomodoro technique? Number 3, you need to create a steady environment. You need to create a steady environment. Listen to me. This is important. You cannot get up and be studying on your bed. That's not a place for you to study. You cannot say you are studying when the TV is on, when people are running around in the background. That's not how you study. So you need to create a quality, steady environment. A quality, steady environment. What does that mean? It means that you must have a dedicated location for studying. Because again, that's how your brain works. That's why psychologists sometimes, if people are suffering from having sleeping problem, they tell them, hey, make sure you don't have any electronic gadget, TV, laptop, or anything in your bedroom, right? So that when you get to the bedroom, your brain is going to switch that, hey, this place is for sleeping. And the same thing happens psychologically when you create a dedicated, steady environment or steady location. What it means is that immediately you get to that zone, it could just be a small corner in your room. Maybe you live in a single room and porch or single room self-contained or whatever the heck you live, just a dedicated spot. So that when you get there, your brain is just going to switch that, hey, listen, where we are at, it's time to study. It's time to study. No social media, no distraction, no calls, nothing. So we create dedicated location. Very important in that particular case. Then you want to have a desk at your study area because you always want to sit straight, sit upright when studying. Because you see, posture is key to memory. Okay? Posture is key to memory. Your ability to be able to retain what you are studying and remember, your posture is key. And there are some postures that are attentive postures. That's why you cannot sit on your bed and say you are learning. Because the posture on your bed, it's not learning. Your brain is shut. So you may be lying to yourself thinking you are reading, but nothing is going to stick. Why? Because that posture doesn't stimulate your brain to study. But if you have a dedicated location and you have a dedicated desk, once you sit on that desk, you sit up straight, posture, that is going to make you attentive, alert, to be able to read what you are reading very well, focus very well, in order for you to put yourself in the position to understand what you are studying. So you must create a steady environment, a quality steady environment, dedicated location, have a desk for proper posture, and number 3, you need to eliminate or remove any distraction. So you eliminate distractions from your study location. When studying, your phone cannot be with you. If your phone is with you, it's on focus mode or do not disturb mode or whatever the heck mode. Distraction. The TV cannot be on and you say you are studying.